welcome to another episode of We've Got This, Let's Talk with Aunty Gale. You must be wondering why I'm here at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds. Well, guess what? Our two teams, Mikud Eagles and Manipur Stars, are competing in the Dream 11 T10 competition. And guess what? They're both doing exceedingly well. In fact, we're anticipating a grand final between Manipur and Miku. I'm telling you, all of Miku North will be glued. Fingers crossed, that's the outcome I'm hoping for. Don't ask which side I'll support when that day arrives. But the important thing is, our teams are doing so very well. Thank you, Juan Augustine. Thank you, Dave Shari. Thank you to Nerville, Florence. You guys are doing a great job with your respective teams, and I know you will continue to do well. So please join me on a brief week in review, if I may call it that. We would have heard so much about the sargassum. It is something that I've been dealing with since 2011 when I first entered public office, and it continues to be troublesome. In fact, it is still very repugnant. It affects the ability of our fishermen to go out to eke out a living, to access their boats. Some of them have complained about the damage to their engines. And I recall too, a few years ago, we had a meeting in the cabinet room to discuss a sustainable approach to dealing with the sargassum seaweed. We continue to do what we can when the seaweed piles up. In fact, we have been at it for the last few days, and the video I received this morning, if we had not taken the pics and the videos a few days ago, you'd never believe that we even did anything in there. It just keeps on coming and coming, and I want to continue to urge for a more comprehensive and sustainable fix to this problem. We are looking at technologies used in places like Martinique and Guadeloupe, for example. I remember some of my peers from the ministry, the Department of Sustainable Development in particular, had gone to Guadeloupe, I think, to attend a conference or to participate in a conference to look at some of the possibilities in terms of a sustainable fix to sargassum. I want the fishermen to know that it troubles me just as much as it troubles you, because when you can't, ply your trade, so to speak, and when you can't fend for your family, it hurts me just as much as it hurts you. I hear your cries, I feel your pain. And so I had said or communicated to the fishermen in Kwale as well. It will be coming to them shortly, as soon as we're done with the Miku Bay. And I tell you, we've given them some rope because they wanted to build a fad. Some of them wanted the rope to tie their vessels because I think they have to anchor the vessels farther out at sea. But just that you know, it's something that means a lot to us, and we do care that we attend to this in a very comprehensive fashion. We've had a fantastic week to the extent that we're able to undertake a training session, to host a training session for our young people. I have lamented the fact that because of COVID, we've not been able to continue with our regular training programs, our job readiness and career fairs we have done in the past, but at least we were able to accommodate 21 or so participants at the Miku Multipurpose Center, participants from throughout the constituency. And thank you, Miss Dorothy Paul, you're really good at what you do. The young ladies and the gentlemen enjoyed the training session. They learned a lot. Of course, we will have to host another session so that we can accommodate another 20-25 people in that space. Thank goodness it's a very large space, so it allows for us to subscribe to the protocols while, of course, exposing our young people to much needed training on career development, CV and resume writing, interviewing skills, office etiquette. Thank you so much for that, and I pray that very shortly we will be able to host another session, because as I said, we can only accommodate about 20 something at a time. Also, we offered congratulations to Macrina Fanis on the last occasion. We're so proud of you. It brings us so much honor and pride when our very old do so well, not only locally but regionally and internationally as well. And what we've been able to showcase over the last weeks is the rich talent that we have in the constituency, whether it be in sport, in academia, in cooking. I'm still awaiting my cupcakes. And so I really want to say thank you, Macrina, for doing what you do for the young people. You are more than deserving of this new opportunity, and I wish you well. We will take a break right now, and when we return, we'll talk some more about sports. Thank you for staying with us. We've got this.
My name is William Jamari. I would like to thank my district rep, Gale, for the assistance she provided me during my time at Salford Community College. Because of her assistance, I was able to complete my associate's degree in agriculture.
Saying thanks is something we've got to say, something we're inspired to say. To someone who has assisted in shaping our education and skills in any way, form, or fashion. It is the least I can say. To you, Honorable Dr. Gale Rigobert, you have helped me further my education at the University of the West Indies, where I studied health and safety. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon we can use to change the world. To you, Honorable Dr. Rigobert, I say a big thank you. I did my best.
On behalf of the MICU veterans, I would like to extend much heartful appreciation to our district rep, Honorable Dr. Gale Rigobert, for a wonderful contribution this morning after such an intense session, training activity among the MICU veterans. We were treated kindly with a very appetizing breakfast, and we look forward to our continuous relationship with the district rep. We know that she is very committed to her task, and she is going to continue supporting the MICU veterans, and we want to assure her that the MICU veterans will give her the fullest support as we continue to progress for success. Thank you very much.
According to the Chinese proverb, if you are planning for a year, sow rice. If you are planning for a decade, plant trees. If you are planning for a lifetime, educate people. With this being said, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Honorable Dr. Gale Rigobert for providing me the opportunity to further my education at the University of the West Indies. Never in my lifetime I thought I would be able to say that I am a student at the University of the West Indies, but because of her, I was able to further my studies in supervisory management. Presently, I am doing the advanced part, supervisory management, psychology aspect of it. Dr. Rigobert, I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. This will go a long way to myself and the people of my community. I thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say a big thanks to the district representative. The job opportunities, drivers of the block, doing something constructive. We'd like to say thank you, Ms. Gale, again. Thanks.
Yeah, my name is Zane. Yeah, I would say, well, I work and still function for a job.
My name is Aunty. I'm from the North constituency, and I just like to thank the district rep, Ms. Gale Rigobert, for the opportunity. It has been a pleasure working here, doing something different. So once again, I just like to say thank you.
I'm family good, yeah. And I'm thankful to have this job, we had nothing to do, and got the opportunity to work at, make a secondary school, like a real secondary school, different classes and stuff. Yeah.
My name is Brian Agustin. I'm from Miku, Abgalan. I've been working there for about maybe 7 months now. Well, I love the fact that I'm working, and my representative made it, a possibility for me to be working. Because I have a son going in, Miku Primary School. I'm thrilled to be working. It feels good.
I'm Bradley George, and I have to tell Mr. Rugobat, thank you for the opportunity to let me do some construction work. Thank you, Aunty Gale.
Yeah, thank you, Aunty Gale.
My MP said that we would have a new wellness center. Here we are. It's almost finished.
My community said we needed a new wing to our secondary school. And my MP said yes.
My sister said she needed help to find a job, so my MP created a job fair.
Our athlete said we needed better sporting facilities.
A new early childhood development center.
My neighbors said.
My sister said.
The children said.
Community said.
Roads and a new park. And my MP said.
Yes.
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 Of course.
Nous tous, c'est yon famille en Micoud Nord. And nous continuons pour faire progrès avec Aunty Gale.
Thank you for staying with us and welcome back to We've Got This, Let's Talk with Aunty Gale. I know so many of you have come to me saying how much you wish that you could continue with your various sporting activities. I know we are very restricted within the parameters of the current protocols. I know the girls have missed the Gale T Sirigabat netball competition, although I think the guys miss that competition more than the girls, but they always come to cheer us along and we look forward to that. Regrettably, we're not able to have it last year because of COVID-19, and I pray that next year we will be able to resume the Gale T Sirigabat netball competition. That competition we started a while back. I was in opposition at the time, and we have continued now that I'm in government. And I don't know whether you are aware, some of the little children who were around when we first started are now playing for their respective clubs. It just goes to show how long we've been at this, and we have also produced national players. Some of our young girls have been able to go overseas to play for St. Lucia, and it's thanks to what we've been able to do with this competition. It really helps to develop the young ladies as well and to make them more competitive and ready for international professional competitions as well. So maybe next year we could resume. I know too, the one that I miss the most is what Manipur is so well known for, and that is the road relay, the bicycle race. We have people coming from neighboring countries such as Martinique, and we know too that the schools participate. I mean, one of the schools I always look forward to seeing in that race is the Aunty Secondary School. They always do very, very well. And I remember the year that the Boys Training Center participated as well, and that was just so heartwarming to see them out there, doing their thing and doing it really, really well and winning trophies and medals. So we were unable to have it this year, but I pray that next February for Independence we'll be able to get back to it. Okay, Dave? Okay, Nayo? Okay. Moripur Youth and Sports Council. I think we can make it happen next year. And hopefully by then we would have, achieved something approximating herd immunity. So many of you have responded positively to the calls to become vaccinated. Thank you so much. You're doing it for me, for you, for us, for your community, for your family, for the country. And thank you so much. Thank you to the medical staff as well. You've done a brilliant job, and the many ladies from my office who assist you as well. I know too that we regret we were not able to continue with the Ryder Cup in honor of our dear friend Ryder Shalry, who regrettably we lost last year, and we've hosted this cup in his honor. We had to abort it, of course, because of COVID, but as soon as the protocols are relaxed, we will be able to continue that competition as well. Last year too, we were able to host the first ever Gale TC Rigobert T10 tournament, and that created a lot of excitement, and already the teams are asking for us to host another, which we will, as long as of course the protocols allow for us to do that. I know Mervyn Wells, Gary Shalry, Baja, Juan Augustine, Neville Florence, all of you are waiting to get going with this. And will Polly win again? Who knows? And of course, the football tournament, oh my God, that was amazing. I remember the last football tournament that we held, and we had a team from Miku and a team from Moripur pass us in the finals, which is what I'm anticipating will happen with the Dream 11 T10 cricket tournament that's currently ongoing at the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds. But let's see what happens. So I'm really sorry we've not been able to host those various tournaments. However, the veterans, who I suppose need to keep their joints going, we've been able to incorporate them in the Keep It Up competition, which allows for some social distancing while they keep fit. And that created a world of excitement as well. We were able, as much as feasible, to do it within the confines of the protocols. And the Veterans Football Club from Moripur did come for their footballs as well. And you'll see them in that pic in the veranda in my parliamentary office. And I'm hoping that they too can put on a good competition. The little boys from Moripur on the Moripur playing field receive their balls and football boots as well. So we really try to keep the energy up, even though we can't engage in contact sports, but at least we stay connected, and I continue to furnish them with what they need in terms of equipment and gear, so that when we can all go out there and feflenu, so to speak, and do our thing, that we would have the requisite gear and equipment to do so. So do know that we stand ready to continue to partner with the various clubs and sports councils, the Miku Youth and Sports Council and the Moripur Youth and Sports Council, to do what's best for the young people. But the focus is not only on sports. As you heard in the last segment, we do also provide training. Regrettably, we can't host the job readiness and career fair as we normally do in this grand fashion because of the protocols, but we were able to host one, as you just saw, at the Multipurpose Community Center, because we believe in the holistic development of young people. And a few episodes ago we spoke about available scholarships, and in some forthcoming episodes we will talk about opportunities as well for young people who want to further their studies and develop professionally. So thank you for staying with us. We'll take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll talk some more. We've got this. Let's talk with Aunty Gale.
My MP said that we would have a new wellness center. Here we are. It's almost finished.
My community said we needed a new wing to our secondary school, and my MP said yes.
My sister said she needed help to find a job, so my MP created a job fair.
Our athlete said we needed better sporting facilities.
A new early childhood development center.
My neighbors said.
My sister said.
The children said.
Community said.
Roads and a new park. And my MP said.
Yes.
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 Of course.
Nous toutes, c'est yon famille en Micoud Nord. An nou kontine pou fè progrè ek Aunty Gale.
I am she, I am he, I am me, I am we. Mwen se nou tout. As sure as the morning sun will blanket and then engulf the hills and the valleys, I know I will persevere. I always have and I always will. Paski ala would say che and hat is me that have that. For decades, I have awoken early. With the morning sun on my brow, I have collected my things, my tea, my cat clue and my fork. Me and my sons, my daughters, my dog and my mite, and we have walked. We have walked and we have run. We run the many miles it took to reach that place where the soil was rich, that place where we were to plant, that place where what we plant would grow. I know the smell of that earth all too well. I know the feel of that earth, for I am that earth.
Well, I'm a farmer. I've been a farmer for the longest while. I was an extension officer. The fact that I'm growing food to supply the nation, to give the people around, that alone makes me feel very good about the farming.
That fertile fortress from whose bosom we have filled our bellies. We have peddled it too. We sold it, green, golden and grand, beautiful and majestic in the midday sun. For perhaps always you work the land on which you are born, and that is how you grow. And grow we did. He, she, me, no tooth.
Right behind me there, where I'm sitting there, is the press. That's where after you harvest the cassava, you grit it, you press it, you put it in a bag, so you have that process, you press it. And after it is pressed, you take it to the house where you sieve it. You have a sifter where you sieve it fine, and then you put it in the caron. That's the platin. That's what we use to make the food.
Mama told me ever since when that life is neither predictable nor always rosy. So, as the green faded and the roads lay forgotten, I lifted my eyes to the east, for I still can see. I see the sea beautiful. It is purple, golden, green, fish and simos? Simos, yes, healthy, hearty, handy, just in time too, because it will go well with my chocolate that I with my own hands learn how to make from my own cocoa. I will pursue them. I will endeavor. I will not stop, because I will persevere, and I will grow. No toot, she, he, me, we. And all the while I keep singing. I sing and I dance too. Sometimes my middle even split. And while I have found fame in sports, I am also known for my service. So as I jump, I kick, I bat and I bowl, I protect and I serve and I teach. And yes, I am still running. I run, not just because I can, and God knows I can, but because it reminds me too that from Prowling to the Trumasi Bridge, everything in between is me. All the work is mine, all the joy is mine, and the tears, they are mine too. I still have strength, I still have pride, and although I have changed with the seasons, my essence persists, my culture resists and fights for its life. Parce que nous toutes c'est même. I am he, I am she, I am me, I am we. Now this is 2021, unprecedented, a time of uncertainty, that's understood, a time of fear and of loss, but also a time for faith. I will lean on that which we have already built. He will stand, she will rise, we nous toutes. Petit et puis jaune et puis rouge. No toute sécurité. We will do it. We will ride that wave, not just because we want to do it, but because we dare to do it together.
Hi everyone, I'm Amira Sere and I'm a student at the Monaco Passios Combined School. I'm in grade 6 and my teacher is Miss Stanislas. My favorite subject would be math. I don't normally like it, but my teacher makes it finds a way to make it fun. I also love the positive quote she put up all over the walls. It reminds me to keep going. Also, the new wing is very impressive. The balcony is very large. So at break time, I can eat my snack and go for a nice little walk. I also like the size of the classroom, so I'm not sticking on anybody because 6 feet apart. Before it was a rocky ride coming to school when I normally take the bus, but now the drivers don't have any complaints now that the district rep fixed it. Before it was like a rocky, stony road, a dirt road, but now that they fixed it with some concrete and nice tools, it's a smooth ride. I may even fall asleep. Thank you, Dr. Rigobert.
And thank you for staying with us. You would have heard that the St. Lucia Sports Academy has been on a recruitment drive, visiting primary schools around the island. They've already been to the Monaco Passios Combined School and to the Mico Primary School in our constituency, but they've also visited other communities such as Vieux-Fort, Soufrière, and this week and next week they will continue with their recruitment drive in Babonneau and in Dennery. So please look out for that very well wrapped bus from the St. Lucia Sports Academy. I know we have so much sporting talent out there, and it is important, and that was really part of the motivation for establishing that school, that we catch them early, so to speak, and that we expose them to the professional training, the discipline, the technique required for their respective sport, and that we can produce professional sportsmen and women, so that we have more Levin Spencers, more Darren Sammys, more Mr. Melius, more Johnson Charles, more Gary Matherens, more Zephyrus Joseph, more of Craig Emmanuel. We have fantastic sportsmen and women all over the island, and so our sports academy becomes that training ground, that fertile space within which we continue to harness that brilliant talent that we have on island. Well, I got to visit the school today, and the highlight for me was the race with Madam Principal. But notwithstanding, I got some good coaching techniques as well. I got to do some push-ups. Did you see those push-ups? Oh my God. So I managed to do a few push-ups. I did so many more than they were able to capture on video, but Anyway, I really did enjoy that. I also had the pleasure of speaking with some students who attend the academy currently, and they will be co-opted into the recruitment drive, because there's nothing more powerful than to hear testimonies from people who benefit from the current program, and so do look out for our students from the St. Lucia Sports Academy as they share with you their experience at the academy at this time. And it is very much in its embryonic stage, but already we have so much to boast of. In fact, in the coming weeks they will be participating in the under-19 cricket tournament, and I spoke with the captain Tariq today, and he's very excited, very confident that he can win the tournament. That's the spirit, Tariq, right, Jack? So we can do this together. I'm really, really happy to, with the level of enthusiasm which starts from the principal. You see, leadership is very, very important, and you can hear from the coaches themselves what they have been able to achieve, and I'm sure I'll be delighted with what they have to say and what is on offer. I continue to thank them for their dedication, commitment, enthusiasm, and the fantastic work that they do with our young people. Do enjoy that race. It was quite some fun. We'll be back shortly. Oh, how time flies. So I really want to thank you for staying with us, for viewing another episode of We've Got This. Let's Talk with Aunty Gale. I trust that you've been able to get a peep into what we're doing in Mico North in particular, but also to have a bird's eye view of some of the other national initiatives that benefit other constituencies as well. I pray that you are continuing to stay safe. Please, please, please follow the protocols, and if you have not yet received your vaccine, may I encourage you to consider it for you, for us, for our community, for our country, for your children, for our beautiful nation. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week.
The Sports Academy opened its doors in 2019 to students like myself who had the desire to excel both academically and in sports. The St. Lucia Sports Academy, which is much like a boarding school or home away from home, provides us with a solid foundation in academics, life skills, and of course sports, in particular football, cricket, and track and field. Let us meet our qualified, friendly coaches who are better placed than I am to tell you more about the Academy and the general work program.
My name is Andy Bale. I'm the Assistant Program Director here at the St. Lucia Sports Academy.
Dwight Francis, Head Football Coach at St. Lucia Sports Academy.
Emmanuel Bellas, Physical Education Teacher and Football Coach at the St. Lucia Sports Academy.
Victor Conibert, Program Director at St. Lucia Sports Academy.
Gary Maffrey, Head Coach, Head Cricket Coach at St. Lucia Sports Academy. It's been a dream come true. It's always something that I wanted to do after my playing days. It's something that I really prepared myself for, because I still wanted to be part of the game and just being in and around the game. So for me, it was it's a dream come true. I love working with the boys here, and trying to adapt all the methods that I've learned, trying to teach them all the things that I've learned over the years, and hopefully some new things.
What the Academy is turning into is something that a lot of leaders in our sport have envisaged for a long time in their own circles. And I think we can all go back and to a certain point in our career and say, wow, it'd be nice if we had a place to really bring together our top athletes and be able to provide the services that we are going to soon be able to fully provide in addition to those that we've already started. So, from the inception of the idea, I think it matched up with where the country needed to go to have an institution like this. So that's what captured my interest to come on board, and come on board early.
Well, basically for me, I believe the Sports Academy, St. Lucia needed something like this. With the level of sporting activities we have in St. Lucia, the secondary schools, they don't really provide that level of coaching, especially when it comes to my field, which is football. So I believe having the Sports Academy will develop a lot of talented football players we have in St. Lucia, to take them to that level, at least to represent St. Lucia, maybe get into one of those clubs somewhere in the region. So I believe the Sports Academy came at the right time, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm thankful that I got the opportunity to give something to the Sports Academy as well.
It's my belief that the concept of a St. Lucia Sports Academy is a top class one. I sat on a couple of meetings even before school was open, and I heard some of the arguments for, I heard some of the arguments against. I was in discussion as to whether I would like to contribute to the overall development. I came across here, and it is my intention as much as possible to try to make a total contribution towards the overall development of the sporting landscape, and not only in the line of sport, even in the area of the academics that the school is offering. I want to ensure that school becomes a modern school, not only in St. Lucia but probably throughout the whole region.
Yeah, well, for me, it started back in 2017 when the idea was conceptualized. Of having a center of excellence for sports, and there was one for the arts as well. So they had a Mac Grosile Secondary School, which is a former school, as the place for the sports academy. Because of that, I was invited on board in terms of the consultation process. So I was involved in the consultation process from the very beginning. And you know, being a track and field individual, you know, sports is my life. It was right down my alley, you know, and I kind of fell in love with it. The concept is a beautiful concept. It is a unique concept in the OECS. I did get an opportunity to go out to train some coaches in Barbados a couple of years ago, and they were already asking about the sports academy. They heard about it. That was back in 2018, and they wanted to know what was the requirement in terms of being part of the sports academy. You know, if we were making arrangements for regional persons, and that is the ideal. That is where we want to get to open up the sports academy to persons in the region, and then most likely international maybe in the next 10 years. So it is a great venture, and I'm glad to be on board and be a part of it, and to see that the whole thing is just unfolding, providing our athletes a unique experience right here in St. Lucia. Well, the going has been very rough in terms because we had a lot of teething problems. A lot of the infrastructural works were not really completed, and then we had that COVID hit right in the middle of the progress of works. So that slowed down works quite drastically because we were kind of relying on a couple of foreign companies to come in to do the works, especially the surfacing of the football turf and the tracks and so on. So for me, it has been like kind of a roller coaster, bittersweet, because a lot of things that you would have expected to be in place, not really in place as yet, but things are falling into place, and I'm quite happy.
Yeah, I think it's been, I mean, for us, a lot of our coaching staff came in just about a year ago. So after the academy started, it was in place for about a term, and then January 2020 is when I think a lot of our coaches came on board, and as well as myself, and really felt like over the last year we've been able to get a process down and internally get our operations figured out in the midst of school starting and school stopping with COVID, in terms of at least what's going on in person. I think through that we've had just a good bond with the coaches, good discussion, good dialogue about, you know, being on the ground. Where do we see the academy going? What are some of the needs that we're identifying that maybe couldn't have been scoped for before a full team was on board and before the place was running? So as much as we had, I'd say, some teething problems, I also think it's been an opportunity over the last 12 months to kind of share ideas, understand each other's programs, get a comprehensive program to work together, and that's helped, I think, shape some of our plans moving forward in terms of what we go for, in terms of you know, the training facility that we're in development with right now. You know, something literally the shape of the campus, what we do with some of the infrastructure plans, how we can actually contribute to reshaping those and making those plans that were in place even a little stronger to match the realities that we have on the ground. So I think it's been, starting anything new is a challenge, but I think the last 12 months has seen us overcome a lot of those challenges, both that regular schools and teachers are facing in terms of a blended format, but then even just in terms of what we're doing here on the campus and being able to develop that further in our own ideas. And I think for all of us, in different ways, contribute to actually the shape of the campus as it moves forward. I think that's neat for us to all see when we look back years from now, and we actually know the specific aspects that each of us had contributed ideas and input towards developing that.
Well, a typical day on this compound, sometimes, we actually sleep here overnight, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. We sleep overnight to actually help with the conditioning in the morning. So the boys get up at about 5:30. We get up around the same time to make sure that they're ready to say their morning prayer, and then we disperse. They come out in, whether the cricketers come out first or the footballers, whichever order that we decide to do on that particular day. So we go out and assist in terms of assist coach and the bell with the conditioning, and we also try to make it a lot of fun for them.
Typical day for me, getting here for about 6:10 in the morning to start morning conditioning with Andy. We have roughly about 40 students on the morning, but we split them into about 3 groups for the different disciplines. So we have one group on the morning for football at 6:15 till about 7:45. Then we have the athletes come in from quarter to 7 to about 7:30 roughly. And then the cricketers, they come in after. And then from the field, we head for breakfast and getting prepared for the morning assembly normally, depending on the day. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, and we have classes throughout the day. Coach Gale and myself, we conduct officiating and coaching classes for the specific sports on the morning. And from there we relax, we take a tour around the school to ensure that all students are in classes and they're not just idling around, which they enjoy our company whenever we pass around. So in the afternoon, I gather my footballers, we go to the playing field where we have about an hour and 30 minutes of training. Different drills which those guys look forward to every afternoon. That's one part of the day that they enjoy basically. Once it comes to football, we guys on the field every afternoon, and then about 4:45, 5 o'clock, I allow them to just have some fun. Playing football, I take part in this with them, and say about 5:30, everybody head back to prepare for the night classes or just some time to relax after training.
Yeah, well, it's basically the same thing. The difference between Coach Dwight and myself, whereas he's more integrally involved in the coaching aspect of it, I'm also on the academic staff. So my task involves being in the class as a regular teacher. And whereas he comes to campus about 6, I have the opportunity or the liberty of sleeping on compound. So I am there with them through the night. So we give them the guidance, but in the morning, just as you indicated, we get up about 5:30. You have your devotion, you have your strength and conditioning breakfast and everything else that he said. When they are done with that and they have had their supper, whatever academic assistance that we or I can give them, then we allow that to happen. Lights off at a certain time, persons get back to sleep. But on a personal note, I need to explain as well that even before I came here, I had some perception of what here may have been, but when I got here it was a little different, because coming from a secondary school where I would have 25, 30 or so students, I came here and you'd be given a class. The class was split down into, you'd have 6 or 7 students to teach with. The advantage of that is that you are now able to give children more individual attention. So that in itself is a positive. We have cricket, we have football, we have track and field here. For each of these disciplines as it stands presently, we have about 2 or so persons working in each of these disciplines. But further to that, even in terms of preparing the children, Coach Andy has a program being run, CCCP, which is the Caribbean Commonwealth Coaching Program, that's geared towards students. So you know that if these students are not able to make it on the field of play, they have that background which they can capitalize on sooner or later. And even out in the community, the fact that you have coaches in different sporting disciplines out in the community, and you have that institution here that is catering for coaches to help with the development, that may give coaches out there an opportunity to further develop themselves so that they can get attached to the institution.
Yeah, so added to that as well, that is one of the reasons why we part of along with the academic structure, we also have the sports courses that we offer to the students, because bearing in mind that not every boy is going to be a star footballer or a star track athlete and so on. So we want to create career pathways for them. So hence we have a number of sports courses that we offer to them here. And we are aiming at getting certification for them for those sports courses even before they leave school, or just after they leave school. So we want to set it in such a way that they get certified in those areas. So we have the sports courses that will help them when they leave the SLSA. Those of them who don't make it on the collegiate circuit, they at least can get that certificate and they can move on in terms of something, in terms of the sports that they prefer, whether it's officiating or whether it's a coaching aspect of it. We also offer massage therapy, so they might want to go into that and maybe look at injury management, physiotherapy. They might want to pursue a course in that. We do a journalism course as well. So, and it's at the basic level, so maybe operating a camera, photography, even reporting and so on, videography. So we try to give them those courses that would help them when they leave SLSA to give them a step up in terms of their future, whether it's in work or in pursuing it at a higher academic level.
I think